Coming to you from the Illegal Shift Studios, it is another episode of the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast, a special Saturday edition on a day when the Ohio State Buckeyes have fallen beneath the mighty boot
of
the Wolverines
it's not me.
of Michigan. It's not me.
Is it your phone?
Is it my phone? It can't be my phone. My phone's not even on.
Is it the TV?
Oh, it might be a TV.
It's a TV up there. All right.
I have 18 things. 18 things I'm trying to fucking figure out.
So,
here.
Keith, how we looking, buddy?
Well, I'm a little bit upset about the Buckeyes losing. I know you're super happy because you're always happy when the Buckeyes lose. You're always happy when the Buckeyes
lose. Did you see the text I put out during the game?
No.
I said that quarterback for Michigan sucks.
He does.
He's not good.
And so does the quarterback for Ohio State.
I guess so.
Will Howard sucks.
Will Ryan Day be looking for a job this time tomorrow?
He absolutely should be. If you lose to Michigan 4 years in a row.
Jeff Hellman said fire him now.
Wait. Let me listen. I can be impartial here. If he goes on and could theoretically win the national championship,
it doesn't matter, Andrew.
That doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Not in Columbus, Ohio.
Well, I'm telling you, you guys really need to think about that. Seriously.
Think about what?
The national championship is the prize. Beating Michigan, yes, is the prize, but not total prize.
That is the Super Bowl of Buckeye Nation and Wolverine Nation.
Well,
it is.
And you had to know the game was going to be close. That was a bowl game.
Did you see after the game was over? There was some ugliness.
Yes.
There.
Dude, it was.
Did a couple of guys get pepper sprayed?
They did.
It looked like it.
They did.
It was very. I had some technical difficulties starting the show, and I apologize. I hit a couple of different buttons because I was trying to do some things.
It's probably my fault, though.
No, all mine.
Yeah.
All mine. Mine.
I rolled in here late and was throwing my shit together.
No, we were sitting there bullshitting, but before you guys got here, I was trying to figure out if I could do the applause thing as we had and I can't use that same channel, but I realized it. So I tried to start the show 2 different times and
so complicated.
Did not work.
He's amazing.
Isn't it though?
It's like,
but I figured out what the problem
is. It's like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
So we appreciate everybody that is here. We are all 3 back after Thanksgiving.
Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving.
Andrew left the country for a little bit.
Yes,
they let him back in.
Thank you for announcing that on air,
which is weird.
Just not my preference.
Have you gone through quarantine since you've been back?
No, I think I caught something.
I know. I got to sit right next to you.
Contagious.
Did you get stung by a fucking?
If you notice,
did you get stung by a stinger fish and make you swell up or what?
You might notice a rash somewhere. Don't scratch it. Just let it go.
So once you got back, Andrew, how was your Thanksgiving? Let's start there.
Oh, it was very quiet. Very, very quiet. Just me, the wife, and the 2 dogs.
Quiet is good.
Easy and chill.
Quiet
Easy and chill.
How's the new puppy?
The puppy is trying. He's getting better, but he's still. Well, he watches TV, so I know people aren't caring about my puppy, but it's kind of annoying when you're watching TV and he's barking at everything on the TV. So it's a little bit annoying, but he's getting there.
Move your microphone.
My microphone, I'm eating it.
He's
move it to the right and then tilt it.
Why?
Because your face is blocked.
Well, that's all right.
All right. Well, if you don't care, and then I don't care.
Well, they might care. It was nice, but Thanksgiving can be for a lot of people. I mean, maybe you guys, it can be stressful. And I was hoping to maybe get some good stories of some political discourse at Thanksgiving, especially this year with the local or the national election being so recent. I was hoping to hear some stories of maybe fisticuffs or swear words and doors slamming, and I never want to see you again. So I don't know. Do we have any of that?
The meltdowns that have been taking place out there on social media, and then Joy Reid had an epic one the other night. I don't know if you caught any of that, but
a perfect segue when you're done.
She was essentially, telling mega people to just leave them alone. I mean, isn't that rich?
Yeah.
I mean, we have been begging. Her and her ilk have been looking to shove their agenda down our throat for how long now?
4 long years. Yeah.
And now they're saying just leave us alone. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
I've seen suggestions from liberals on and the libs of TikTok is awesome. But
yes, it is.
I've seen them suggest, first they were going to shave their heads, right? I don't know if that took. Then they were
the women, yeah. Right.
I haven't seen anybody around when I'm driving around. I haven't seen any.
You haven't seen balders
and any female balders.
All right, and then the next thing, they were going to mask up, so they were going to all wear masks so we could tell who they are for the next 4 years. They're going to wear masks, which I got to say is still a deal on the airplane.
Fine,
because I had some people next to me as we were flying down there, and like right across the road from me, I had an older couple. Well, they weren't older, but they were older than me. They're probably Dan's age, and they were. And they had their masks on, and I was like, I just kept looking over them, so I started coughing, and she didn't like that at all. So
I bet not.
And then
you just to fuck with them, right?
I was just fucking with them, and then and so they wanted to mask up, and then I heard I heard somebody on there saying something along the lines of they're not going to participate in the economy, so they're going to not buy anything for the next 4 years.
Sure not.
And they're going to do everything on barter. And I was like, oh, let me know how that works out for you. So, and I don't know, when you do things on barter, you have to have something to barter, right? Isn't that like the whole thing?
I give you this and I get this.
But you have to have something that someone wants. And a lot of these people have nothing
that anybody wants.
That anything wants.
So, well,
I'll let you figure
the thing out. Is, I mean, under Trump, that sub-economic system is going to flourish as well. So the thing is, everyone who's complaining about MAGA and Trump and what he's going to do, they are all going to benefit greatly the next 4 years.
Can I say?
And so and it's not just for people who voted for Trump. Everyone is going to benefit.
So I was down. Obviously, you guys know I was in Belize. And I walk into a cigar shop. Now I don't smoke cigars, but I don't smoke, period. But I walk in there and I'm talking to a local guy, Sal. I took a picture with him. I'll post it. And I wanted to buy some Cuban cigars for celebratory purposes, right? Just for gifts. So I asked him. I said, do you mind me asking? What? He says, well, what are you? I told him celebrating. He goes, oh, the election. I was like, yeah. And he goes, I got to tell you, I am now his words. I don't think it's a third world country. Maybe it is, but he's like, I'm from a third world country. He goes, and we are so happy that Trump won. And this is a guy running a business. He's been running this business. He was an older guy, about Dan's age, and it's twice.
Everyone older is my age.
Zing. So no, he was a really cool dude, and he's been running this cigar shop in San Pedro, Belize, for 45 years. And he said, when America is strong, we're happy.
We're strong.
He goes, strong America is good for the world and is good for us. So we're happy. And everyone, now I didn't bring a whole lot of Trump stuff with me, but everybody down there that I spoke to, and I didn't speak to, the world, but all the locals that I ran into, everybody was happy about Trump. And it was weird. I mean, you remember when Trump got in the first time, people were like if you're a Trump fan, back then, you were kind of an outlier. You know what I mean?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
You didn't know what it was going to be.
Right. You didn't. But people were like, Trump? They were like, Trump? Now it's shifted so much. I mean, to be a conservative Republican, to be a Trump fan, to be proud of America, to be in favor of a strong America is like in. You know what I mean? It's cool to be a Trump person. And I think it's just so different and so refreshing. I'm looking forward to the next 4 years.
No, I have videos that are going to say different, but
I didn't say everybody,
but we'll get to that. So like Thanksgiving. So you had a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You had a good Thanksgiving.
Dan? Yeah, it was we had to go to with the in-laws, my sister's, my wife's sister's house, and so it wasn't a ton of people there, but it was good. Food was good, and I did not make my turkey on the grill this year, which kind of missing that a little bit right now. But
are you upset?
Well, I'll tell you, turkey, my turkey on the grill.
Were you pushed? Were you pushed?
It is the absolute finest.
So wait.
Were you?
No, I just didn't have time to do it.
Is this a Traeger grill or what is a smoker? Or what
no, I got my Weber kettle, and my dad started doing this when I was a kid.
Oh, that's cool.
A long time ago, and ever since then, turkey on the grill has been a tradition in our family, and didn't do one this year. And although I do have a turkey in the freezer right now.
And you're going to do it for Christmas?
So I might do it between now and Christmas.
Cool. That's pretty cool. So your dad showed you how to do this.
Yep.
And you've carried on the tradition.
Absolutely.
I think that's cool.
It is the absolute best way to eat it. The absolute best.
Sounds dry.
No, it's not. You would be wrong.
Doesn't sound moist.
It is very good.
So we went to Jill's cousins. Had a very, very nice, very chill. Only went one stop. Didn't have to jump around. Went to her cousin's house. Had a great time. Food was awesome. But had I hosted, this is essentially how it would have gone.
All right, family, here's how we're going to do Thanksgiving this year. If you voted for Trump, we're going to go upstairs. We're going to watch some football. We're going to eat turkey, ham, mashed potatoes, gravy, macaroni and cheese, all the good stuff. Those are liberals who voted for Kamala Harris. You're going to go downstairs in your safe space. You're going to be having Shirley Temples and salad. Happy Thanksgiving.
That's exactly how that would have went.
I like it.
That is fantastic. And I also love the videos where you see the entire family doing the mega dance, the YMCA, and they're all doing their own version of Trump doing the mega dance. Absolutely hilarious.
So I've got another one just because we're doing a Thanksgiving thing.
Hey, we have a lot to be thankful for.
Yes, we have a ton. We have a ton to be thankful for. But I want to play this just being the fireman. Just got to find it. Where's it? Hopefully, anybody that's listening didn't have to deal with any of this, but I've got a minute of some of the greatest hits.
All right, we're going to get a little play-by-play action here.
I don't think you need the play-by-play.
Right.
Oh, what the hell? Why are you having trouble? Damn it. All right, stand by.
What does that say? I can't even read.
It says we're having trouble playing this video.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Oh, man. It's like trying to watch the football game online.
I know.
The football game today was fine, wasn't
it? No, when you're trying to stream it, Fox was blocking it locally, so you had to go to YouTube, and then they had some.
Are you talking about the game, the Kansas City?
No, I'm talking about the Michigan Ohio game, Ohio State.
I had it on my TV at home. It was fine.
No, if you're trying to stream it.
I wasn't trying to stream it. I was just watching it on TV.
Well,
that's very.
I understand.
That makes me.
But a lot of people weren't at home and were trying to stream it. And like at my old business, and they were having trouble because was Fox 19? Yeah,
Fox 19 had it.
So Fox was blocking it.
They're blocking the stream.
Had a big black square in the middle of the screen. You had to go through YouTube.
That makes viewing difficult, doesn't it?
I would think so.
Well, crap.
So we'll just fill in while Jason's.
Yeah, I thought it. Oh,
wait. Oh,
let me see if
let me touch this.
Let me see if this
hold these wires together. There he goes.
All right.
I'm prepared for the show, though. Just so you know.
Yeah, I'm prepared.
I'm prepared to fill all the time we have today.
Hey, I was going to tell you off the air, but I'll tell you on the air. So I was watching.
Here, shut your mouth. Hold on.
You shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth.
Stay inside, please.
Fried turkey.
Stay inside.
Stay inside. Right. Get inside right now.
Oh, that's not good. No, you can't drop it in like that. You can't drop it in. You don't do it in the house either.
Never do it in the house.
It goes. Oh my God! What is wrong with these people?
And it goes.
That oil's hot, man.
We got a burn turkey, guys.
That's
look. I made a brick in.
Hey there. Hey, you gonna eat that?
I wonder if we had any calls.
What is the deal? Cooking the turkey is not.
This should not be discussed.
It is. It's not.
Did you see RFK frying his?
Yes, I did.
Man, that guy is just stuck
in the beef tallow.
In the beef tallow.
That's got to be good, though.
Happy Thanksgiving. That was from a Daily Show, which I hate, but
that's pretty funny.
It was well worth.
It appeals to the fireman in you.
It was well worth. Like, hey, I hope everybody had a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
How many runs have you gone on that like that over the years? Where
I've gone on a couple.
Turkey preparation got out of hand.
People think the garage is like safe, and it's not.
So the big joke, and Jill saw it, I saw it as well, but like on the Watchful Eyes of Anderson, somebody posted a turkey fryer in the kitchen, and they're like, "Hey, we know it's going to be cold." They got cardboard underneath it.
Yeah. It was not cold on Thanksgiving Day.
But this is.
But it was just so funny because somebody being a dickhead like we would be, they're like, "Hey man, we're getting ready to try this new recipe. It's cold outside. We're getting ready to dunk this frozen bird." Well, then all of a sudden, the comments, because people are so fucking ignorant. I hope that thing stalled. I mean, it better not be wet. Oh my God, you're going to burn your house down. Which obviously it's somebody that's just poking and prodding, just like we would.
All right.
As of any of us three would. And you're like, holy shit. Like, do you really think that there are people that are that dumb?
There's people that have done that.
But when you see like the little smiley face after they post it, you should probably know that it's not.
They're just goofing off.
It's not factual. But yes, it's definitely happened. I've been on a couple. Where I'm like, what did you do? You definitely did not think before.
Well, I mean, look, people aren't the brightest, especially this time of year, and sometimes at the holidays, alcohol's heavily involved. So, I'm just glad that y'all were safe, and everyone. We didn't hear of anyone having any problems. And if you did, comment. Let us know how it went. Some people Forever Road said, "What we deep fried one went perfect." Yeah, the deep frying one is pretty good. It's not bad.
It's hard for me to eat another turkey that's not deep fried.
You can order them from Popeyes. I just want to let you know you can call up Popeyes and they will fry it for you.
Popeyes is awesome.
Popeyes is awesome. I don't know if they batter it.
Popeyes.
Should they man, if they battered it, would that just be the baddest thing ever?
Carrie Wolfangle was out of town. She's commenting. She said it looked like Dan's charcoal grill on his back deck.
No, look, I have my grill. My grill is under control. When I'm grilling on my grill, it is totally under control.
So you're a grill master?
It did look like a Weber kettle. That's the only similarity thereof.
All right, so
I don't think Dan wants to be messed with about his grill.
Oh, you don't fuck with him.
I'm good, man. I'm good on the grill. I'm not. I don't mind saying so.
No, I mean, hey.
All right, so here we are. All right. Thanksgiving's over. We're getting closer and closer.
What do we do? How many days? We should do a countdown. What are we, 50?
I think we're right around the 50-day mark.
I think it is 50.
I think so.
So the 20th and plus 31. So, 51, somewhere right in there.
So as we're getting there, and obviously a big thing with President-elect Trump is the border crisis
that he's already solving.
And he's solving. So I pulled this article up, and where's that? And let me ask you this, Andrew, because you have people in Texas.
Yeah.
So this article, I found it amusing in the fact that they're trying to the left side's trying to say what Trump's trying to do is not going to work.
Okay. Well,
right.
It did work, but go ahead.
Right. We know that it worked.
Well, and history knows that it works.
But President Biden's camp says, well, we did everything that we could, even though they tore a lot of this shit down.
They tore the barricades down.
Yeah. So
and if you remember in the Rio Grande, they had the floating. Remember what they had? They had the floating barricade.
Yep. Yes.
And they tried to remove that as well. And but go ahead with the story.
No, so I saw this article today, and it says, Texas has spent millions placing razor wire along the border.
Right?
Is it working? ? So they questioned. They said this Texas, which is 60% of the U.S. border of Mexico, spent well over $10 million erecting and maintaining.
Yeah.
Abbott got chastised because he went against Biden's order.
Right.
Yeah. So you've been down there. You've seen, you go to Texas, you know people that are close.
Yeah. We go hunting. When we go hunting in Del Rio, we're probably
12
miles from the border.
Exactly. That's why I'm asking you this.
Yeah.
So they spent money throwing up more concertina wire.
Yeah.
C wire, as they call it in this article. I always call it Constantina wire, and I'm always wrong with it. But So this article is going up where it says the maintenance of it. You're going to have that because they're going to come up and cut it.
Right.
You're going to obviously, but a wall is going to be the better option.
Right.
A wall is always going to be the better option
for sure.
So Greg Abbott, and talking with one of the Border Patrol agents, he was like, this is absolutely working.
Of course.
But you have the left saying, nope, it's costing too much money.
Oh, you mean the fiscally conservative left?
The fiscally
is that the one you're talking
this
about?
This is exactly where I wanted you to go with
this. So here's the deal. Remember in Arizona, they stopped the border wall construction, and they were having such a problem. They started putting up shipping containers. They made a wall of shipping containers, and then the Biden.
Remember that?
That's right.
Yes.
Then the Biden administration sued them and started take the containers.
And
down.
we actually talked about that on One More. Those things are like $1,200 to $1,500 a piece.
Right. And so
a big one.
Right. And then in Texas, they had the floating barricade in the Rio Grande that they said was inhumane, made them take it down. Here's a simple truth. There's a story I shared today. There was a 10-year-old boy that was left alone, just abandoned at the border on our side of the border by the coyotes. And this kid they were not necessarily interviewing him, but they showed the Border Patrol taking him and being as compassionate as possible with him, and shepherding him because he was just simply left out in the wilderness alone. That's a 10-year-old boy. The horrors that are occurring at our southern border due to the ineptitude, and I don't know that I would say it's ineptitude because I think it was on purpose, of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is something that we should be absolutely, as a country, completely and utterly embarrassed and ashamed of. And sadly, we're not. It's become a political issue. They think it's compassionate to have an open border. I think it's the exact opposite of compassion because all you're doing, I mean, the child, the horrors these poor kids are going through is just absolutely unbelievable. The unaccompanied minor children, the young girls, the women that are being raped and killed every day, every hour on that border by the coyotes and by the cartels. We have made,
or just left,
but we have made the cartels, the Biden administration has made the cartels, they were making more money off of smuggling people to the border than they were smuggling drugs. And that's just the fact.
Yeah.
And these days, I mean, as a nation, we're going to be judged by a higher authority. And this will be a very dark period in our history. And I like the new border czar. I like the guy. He doesn't take shit, and he's talking tough. And is it going to be, an easy process? No, but it's a necessary process. We have, not far away from Cincinnati, we have Venezuelan gangs taking over major cities in Tennessee, and they have big problems in Tennessee. So from these Venezuelan gangs.
I think I read, but there's like 11 cities in Tennessee now.
Correct.
Or that Tren de Aragua is operating.
Right.
Or being known to have operations.
So
think about that.
This was interesting, though. This article, it says, but does a razor wire really keep migrants from entering the country illegally, and is it worth the cost? And this Andrew Arthur, and
what was his name?
Andrew Arthur. I didn't know this. A law and policy expert at the Center for Immigration Studies. I didn't know that was a thing. He says with emphatic yes, and he pointed to data from U.S. Customs and Border Protection that shows illegal migrant encounters in Texas, five border sectors, dropped by nearly 2/3 in January after the state finished placing the wire. So, like the big thing with this article is Texas went against Biden,
right,
and said we're going to put it up, and as a drinking bros call him, wheelchair Abbott, fucking decided to do it. But he also said that where's it at? He pointed data from U.S. Customs and Border Protection. It shows illegal migrant encounters in Texas. 5 border sections dropped by nearly 2/3. But then he said it pushed them It pushed them like a couple 100 miles up.
Right. That's usually what happens.
So like that next, your next little depot, quote unquote.
Right.
I mean, not quote unquote, but I mean, just you've got a depot where you can get your as you're the coyote.
It's a sector that's not as not as secure.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're just and that was the problem pre the wall down in South Texas and down in the Arizona border. There were portions of the border that there was nothing, just a small barbed wire fence, like 3 strands that you could easily go over, except for me. But
that's before your new diet.
That's right. Hey, I'm 2 days in. Back off. So you put your finger here, right, and then there's a flood over here. So you just keep moving your finger around. You're trying to plug holes in the dike. And what the border wall did was it said, look, we're going to build a brand new dam per se. And I can't wait to see, a legal immigration policy that's orderly, organized, and supervised, which includes a border wall with points of entry rather than this just willy-nilly, we don't have a border. I did read something that was actually kind of interesting. 3/4 of all arrests for people on watch lists were actually not from the southern border, but from Canada. And that's a border we forget about. But I don't think we need a wall in Canada. But I'm just saying we need at the southern border to take away the cash flow to the cartels that are making money over there. And the fact that Venezuela, for example, emptied their prisons and sent us all their criminals. We need to find these people. We need to hold them to account, send them back to their country, and start over again and undo. It's hard to undo this. I mean, Dan, it's hard to undo. It's hard to undo 4 years of nothing, right?
It's hard to be unburdened by what we were burdened by.
It's hard
to unburden
to put the toothpaste.
Well, I think Trump has a good handle on that, and that's why he is having all his ducks in a row. And on day one, he's going to be able to literally hit the ground running, and send Mega on down the tracks, and he's just going to steamroll everything in front of him. And I think it's interesting when you talk about Canada. Earlier this week on Monday, Trump came out and said there's going to be a 25% tariff on goods from Canada and a 25% tariff on goods from Mexico.
Right.
If the leader of Mexico and the leader of Canada doesn't do something about illegal immigration at their borders.
And then what happened?
And so the president of Mexico came out and she said, well, those caravans that are heading towards the U.S. right now, I'm going to make sure those things are stopped and turned around. But then I'm reporting yesterday where she's talking about how she's not going to cooperate at the border. And I said, my response to that was, well, let's see where she is on this around January 20th. Get back to me on that.
Correct.
And then we can discuss that. And then as far as Justin Trudeau is concerned,
Castro's bastard.
He immediately picked up the phone, called Trump, and you know where Trudeau was last night?
Mar-a-Lago.
In Mar-a-Lago with Trump.
That's right.
And what do you think, Trump?
Let's just go hang out.
What do you think that conversation went like?
God, I wish I could have heard it.
Do you think it was Trump pretty much telling him, letting him know who the boss is?
That's right.
And how things are going to go.
Right.
And Trudeau was sitting there like the fancy boy that he is.
If
you saw some of the pictures from Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
There's very few people that are as loathsome as Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau is just a pretty boy, prima donna, Fidel Castro's bastard.
How come he never gets called out for all the blackface stuff that he was doing?
Because he's a leftist
back in the day.
Well, it's over. Yeah.
Standard.
Well, it's over now, and double standard, and that was Andrew. That was so 10 years ago.
That was so 10 years ago.
We don't bring anything up that happened ever back in the day.
Well,
we don't talk about those.
Justin Trudeau.
We don't talk about Bruno.
It's a disservice to Canada. There's a lot of good people in Canada. It's a great country full of a ton of natural resources. And the fact that they keep, somehow selecting this guy to be prime minister is boggling to me because he's just a buffoon. I mean, he's just a complete and utter buffoon. But hey, elections have consequences, and we're going through ours now here. And I'm hopeful that the next 4 years, Trump just is. I'm so cautiously optimistic because I think he's hitting, like Dan just said, there's not going to be a lag between inauguration and then appointments. He's hitting the ground running.
He is doing more work now. He is doing, and that's
Well, he's getting more results already.
Well,
he's already getting results that Biden could never have dreamed of.
He is doing more work now in between as president-elect than any president-elect that I remember.
Did you hear?
Now you guys are you two both. Fuck you, Andrew. You're both way older than I am. So
that's fact.
This is where I've never seen progress like this in this lull period.
Let me ask you.
We are living in historic times.
We are.
No
did
doubt.
you see what Zelensky announced that he's open to?
He's open to giving up some territory to Russia, as long as was he saying he wanted guarantees or protection from NATO?
No, I think he said he wanted to be if he gave up land to Putin, that he wanted Putin then to allow them to join NATO, and that would provide the protections that Ukraine seeks.
I didn't know if I didn't see if he was actually talking about actually becoming a NATO member.
I think that's
or
what
just
about.
falling under their protection.
Even if
without having member status.
I was thinking as
even
he
if
announces,
either one of you are right, the fact that these talks are happening,
right?
Yeah.
Didn't happen 3 months ago.
Well, it didn't happen for the first 4 years.
Didn't happen 3 months ago.
Let me ask you a question, and you ask yourself. So that's happening, right? That was in the news today. How many people have died over there, and how many billions of dollars have been spent?
Oh, it's been a hell of a lot. I'm thinking upwards of 400 billion. I think the United States has spent.
And
I don't know the numbers of dead because I don't think there's ever been any really accurate accounting on people on either side.
And we're back to square one, that there was a peace deal on the table initially, and it was shot down by the Biden administration and the Prime Minister of England, and they absolutely shot that deal down. And we're right back to where we were billions of dollars later, hundreds of billions. Dan's right. Hundreds of billions of dollars. I might say it might be trillion. I mean, I'm not sure. We've been spending, you lose track after a while, right? But how many hundreds of thousands of lives were lost over there? I mean, we may never know. I don't think we will know because they don't have,
might not,
and not like the Russians care. I mean, let's be fair. The Russians, not known for their, their military strategy is not, they're like, yeah, just throw a couple 100,000 troops at it. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
But the Ukrainians have lost a whole generation of youth over there. They were conscripting people off the street, just grabbing them off the street. You're in the army now.
Yeah,
go. You're at the front.
You're going to work, sir.
Yeah, so, I saw where Biden told them. I guess their conscription age was 21 in Ukraine, and I saw a headline at least where Biden was wants them to drop that to 18. So they just send more of your guys up there. And to the front line. I mean, Biden is not a good guy. I saw
not a good guy.
So here's a funny video. I only play a little bit of it. I won't play the whole thing, but it's rolling right in the fact of the whole liberal, the liberal fucking thought process. But
he's well, I think he's fading. I've said that for a long time, but he's probably still has. I was talking to a friend of mine in New Hampshire yesterday. Probably 25 to 30% support. You get a crowded field, he could come out of there, he could win, but he's never going to be president of the United States. Thank God he's not going to be that. However, I mean, he's still a force in the party, but not as strong as a force.
Am I going to worry about it? First of all, I'm not going to worry about it, Phil, because he's not going to win.
So you think he's just worn it out? You think people are just going to get fatigued?
Enough. I feel
category fatigue.
I mean, it's just going to be, we're talking about a few 100,000 people perhaps, but I think it's going to be a little closer than that. First of all, she's definitely going to win the popular vote, as Democrats almost always do now. But I think she will win. I think he will, of course, go batshit insane, as he always does. He won't accept it. His followers, I think, I don't think their heart will really be in it, as it was in 2020. Some of them, there's lots of people who will always be in the bunker with Mrs. Goebbels, taking the poison and giving the poison to the children because it's better than living in a world without National Socialism. I make an analogy, but I don't say he's a Nazi.
All right, so
I love that little. That's such bullshit. So I make the analogy, but I'm not saying he's a Nazi. But I used the Nazi Party and a Nazi official as the analogy.
Okay, and your party called him Nazi because he
Gaily.
because he had a rally.
Dally.
Fuck off.
Daily.
Fuck off,
Called him
clowns.
Nazi.
But you know, the common denominator
I wanted to play that
amongst all these hardcore leftist liberal commentators is that they're all so self-assured. They're all so smug. They all come off as being so righteous, and they can't be wrong about anything. And I mean, you listen to Bill Maher go on there, and then who was the guy talking to Dr. Phil?
I couldn't see it.
But anyway, it doesn't matter. But
pick one, right?
Yeah. But you had John Kasich in there. He used to be the governor of Ohio, and I mean,
where has he been?
Let's
see where they did.
Well, I mean, they fell out of love with him on CNN. I guess he thought his bread was going to be buttered by becoming a reliable Trump basher, and I guess he made some money doing that for a little while. But
and he fucked every first responder in the fucking state of Ohio. Yeah. Just FYI.
Well,
I'm a little bit salty about John Kasich. Fuck him.
Well, it's the kind of guy he is. But you know, we were talking earlier about Trump, about how he is, been working nonstop ever since the election. I want to put up the pictures that I sent you.
Which ones?
Of what going against Trump does to you. Okay. And for the first one,
this isn't on screen now. I'm asking first.
Yeah, let's do the Rosie O'Donnell one first. I think that's pretty good. So I saw someone put up these pictures, and someone went all the way back to 2015.
I gotta stop all this.
And found a side by side of Trump from 2015 and Trump in 2024.
I know.
And then Rosie O'Donnell in 2015 and Rosie O'Donnell in 2024.
I have so many tabs.
And this is what Trump derangement syndrome does to you. Put that up if you would, please. And let's I don't know if Andrew's seen this yet, but this is pretty damn funny. So there you go. So there's a Trumpster. I mean, almost indistinguishable 2024 from 2015.
True.
And then you look at Rosie.
Oh.
And look at that from 2015. I mean, that is 9 years difference.
Jesus, that's horrible. That's just.
But that is.
What is she on crack?
She has spent every waking moment the last 8 years talking shit about Trump. And look at her.
Look at what she's on.
Look at what that does to you.
It's like a meth head.
Now, look, I know the picture on the left is like a glamour shots or maybe a promotional photo from ABC when she was on The View. And so, she's got nice lighting and the hair and makeup and all that stuff. But look at that on the right. And she's putting out videos like this almost every day talking about how terrible it is that Trump is the president.
And she keeps saying she's going to move, but I haven't heard that she's fucking moved yet.
The only one that I've heard move.
Get the fuck out.
The only person I've heard move
is Ellen
DeGeneres.
Yeah. And
she's in London and she's trying to move into her new house. And guess what? It actually flooded. Her new mansion is underwater. Sign from God. God's like, screw you, Ellen.
You fucking idiot.
But Rosie O'Donnell's not the only one. Kamala Harris, her fight against Trump has taken a toll on her.
She's taking a beating.
So put up the, I think the one on the left that we're going to see here is Kamala Harris. That's probably her official vice presidential photo. And then the one on the right is her. This is her mid-vacation while she was in Hawaii. You went to Belize. She went to Hawaii.
And was, wait a second, there's speculation that she was plowed out of her mind while she was giving that whole thing.
Well, I know.
It's pretty good.
Take a look at the picture on the right. That's a still photo. And compare it to the one on the left.
Oh, my God.
This is what going against Trump does to you.
It ages you.
It just wears you out because you can't win.
I mean, whoa.
I mean, the picture paints 1,000 words, man.
And to think
it is amazing
to think she had a chance of being president of the United States and where we would be today if she was the president-elect. I mean, that was, if you want to talk about one thought that kept running through my mind Thanksgiving, it was that thought each and every second of the day.
And then someone had the technical ability to. And look, when that video came out that she did from Florida, and think about this. This video was sponsored by the DNC.
Right.
It was aimed at her supporters and her donors.
Right.
right?
We're still not off the hook yet.
And so she's talking to her donors as if they're in the third grade. These are people that can stroke a check for 6 or 7 figures, right? And she's talking to them like they're in the third fucking grade.
That's got to be that's got to be consoling.
And while she's in Hawaii, they're back here on Fox News, on CNN, on MSNBC, just ripping her a new asshole because she blew through $1.5 billion in the span of 100 days,
and it wasn't enough.
And there's still $20 million in debt.
Correct.
And she's still asking these people for money.
You want me to share this?
So there's a lot of people who think she was drunk when she did this.
You want me to share this and play the sound with it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And then someone the video is obviously fake. And normally I don't think these things are that kind of are funny, with the fake memes and all that. But I think this one's actually.
You'll make an exception here.
I am making it. I think this one's pretty funny. Because it's obviously fake, but just watch this. It's hilarious.
That you did. Don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did. Don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th.
He's got that bottle of Hennessy.
You have the same power that you have.
Oh, my God. I don't know. On Gutfeld the other night, Kat Temp was talking about this, and she said, this has the same vibe. And the women who are watching the show, I think, will understand this. She says, this has the same vibe as that drunk chick who's standing in front of you in line for the ladies' room when you're at the club or at a party or something like that. And then she turns around and starts talking to you. You got the power. You can do whatever you want to do. You are so beautiful.
It's your turn. It's your turn. Hey, our friend Tracy Raymond's in the house, and Tracy just had a birthday. I want to shout out Tracy for happy birthday. Glad you're here. We don't see her in the chats very often, but we're glad you're here, and happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We love you. We love you. We love you.
And then, so while we're on the subject of Kamala,
hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
You got something else you want to throw in there?
Well, if you're on Kamala, then we'll stay there.
Okay. Yeah. This is the instructions for Kamala voters. And I sent you this one because this guy, I guess he's a white dude for Harris.
I can't relabel the tabs. That's what makes it hard.
But here he is laying out what Kamala Harris voters need to do now.
Yes.
And Andrew, I'd like your reaction to this.
This fucking guy.
This is pretty good.
Look, our biggest weapon right now is cutting people off that voted against your morals. It's driving them insane. They're like, I don't understand. Yeah, they do. Either that or it's just feigned outrage because they didn't give a fuck about you anyway, but they want to make you look like gaslight you to look like you're a bad person. Just keep cutting them off. Just keep doing it. Because all of these people have one thing in common, and it is narcissistic behavior. It doesn't generally mean that they're narcissists. It means that they idolize a narcissist and perform in the same manner that person performs as. So just keep cutting people off. Block them. Don't talk to them. Co-workers. If you have to talk to them, like business only.
So there you go.
Is this wait? This is his plan.
This is this is his plan. And my response to that was,
I am a big fan of this plan.
But my response to that was, look, I think all of us at this table know some people who voted for Kamala Harris.
Well,
I cannot say that I've spoken to all of them post-election.
I don't know.
So anyone. I don't know if I'm cut off yet.
God is my witness. There's not one person that I personally know that voted for Kamala Harris.
No, not one person.
Not one person. My universe has shrunk. Okay. So I'm, not seeing people in the public as much.
But my point is that if you want to cut me off because you voted for Kamala and I didn't, then by all means, you do you.
Is this like a threat? Like, for example,
but I love how he says it drives us insane. Are we?
Well, like let's take for example. Well, like let's take for example, like let's say that we had some people that watched the show or commented on the show that voted for Harris, and they chose this course of action and just cut us off, right?
Yeah.
Would you lose a moment of sleep?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
Really?
not. I got to tell you, I think it's a great plan.
I watch our subscribers go up and down, up and down, up and down.
I wish that I wish them well. I hope they do this. The fact of the matter is, I don't remember the last election that I was like, you guys, we have to go to a underground economy and only do business with conservatives and let's shave our heads and let's not spend any money, and then let's cut everybody off that didn't vote for Donald Trump. Let's just cut them off. We're not going to talk to them.
Right. It's fucking, you know what? I'm going to shave my head or I'm going to dye my hair blue.
Well, but 513, that's my point. I see your comment, and Dan just broke. Oh, we've got it.
No, hold on. It just popped out. Hold on. This will only take a second.
No, it won't. It's gone.
Oh, it fell off.
Yeah, hold on. I'll fix it. Oh,
man. It was okay. Andrew's going to. Now we're going to see how mechanically inclined this guy is. There you go. Show your butt to the camera.
This is why we can't have anything nice.
All I was doing was adjusting the mic, and it fell out of the hook up there on the desk. Here we go.
I'll put it in the hole.
Look at this. Right in the hole. My God.
Not fitting in the hole. It's too big.
That's what she said.
Just said that.
Jesus Christ.
All right, there we go.
You'd think a fucking media guy would know how to work a goddamn microphone. Get it set, not have to touch it.
In the media business, I'm referred to as what's called talent.
Yeah. Well,
and I learned a long time ago that talent doesn't, interfere with all the workings and pressing the buttons and all that sort of stuff.
My point is that if you followed this guy's advice, 513, you wouldn't comment. You'd cut us off. But yet here you are. So what, I don't really give two shits one way or the other what these people do. I will tell you this though. I was in Kroger today, and I was shopping for health food, and
gummy bears.
And
tell me it's gummy bears because I
this
love
couple
gummy bears.
across from the. I was in the egg section, so that's kind of a wide aisle there, one of the few. And I saw this guy, a younger guy, and a girl both looking at me, and I was like,
"Younger, so about your age, younger, right?"
And you know what the guy did? He turned to me and he was staring at my shirt because I had this shirt on. And he goes, "Fight, fight, fight." He goes, "I'm so happy." Boom. And I was like,
"It's good."
I can't tell you the number of times that has happened to me with the stickers on my car, which are kind of obnoxious, or my shirt.
That is true.
Or my shirt. And I've had more and more people say, "You know what? I am so tired of being like a closet conservative. I'm gonna be proud of it." And I think it's wonderful.
And run with it. Yep, absolutely.
And so we're at 50 days. 50 days from now, this is the inauguration. I hope that everything is peaceful. I hope that there's not a bunch of mass protests or anything like that. And I hope that things go well, and I hope it's safe.
Let me ask you this, you two. How ironic would it be if it's just a normal inauguration, like where Trump's taking the oath, does his little speech, and the Democrats and the leftists have nothing to bitch about?
Well, remember,
how amazing would that be?
A lot of people forget January 6th and January 20th. They confuse the two.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So
thank you.
January 20th last year was peaceful, and it was orderly, and it was non-eventful, and it was
very non-eventful.
It was very smooth.
Well, but it had the look of North Korea to it.
Well, it did have,
because you had.
That's right.
Yes.
Right.
That's where I was going.
You had National Guardsmen all lined up out front. You had bike racks all over the place.
And I'm sure that
you essentially
the security
had no
there
crowds.
Is going to be the same this time. But my point is that I want to see what the reaction is this time. And what a leftist will do is they'll say, "Well, you guys on January 20th," which, the first thing, and I was listening to a guy on the radio the other day that I can't remember the name of the book, and I should have, and forgive me, but
The Art of War.
Funny. But they were he was talking about the people still in jail for January 6th, that have not yet even had a court hearing.
Yeah.
And the amount of money that they've had to spend. And I hope, and we're talking about people that really were not violent. They weren't breaking windows. They were just in the Capitol. And and we've talked about this before, but I hope the very first thing Trump does is commute those sentences to time served and get these people, or maybe expunge their records. And I'm not talking about the violent ones. If you broke something or broke a door, hey man, pay your dues, whatever. But if you were
if you engage with a cop,
right?
Those people should be rung up to the max,
right? But if you just were walking through the Capitol, and because the doors were open and some of the police were actually waving you in, and yet now here you are spending $250,000-$300,000 on attorneys trying to fight this stuff, and you've been languishing in prison. You know what? That's not right. 4 years, no matter what your stance on January 6th. There's no way you can explain to me how it's taken 4 years for your case to come to trial.
No, it
doesn't happen in the United States.
You talk about a sorry chapter in the history of this country. Sure. I think that is going to wind up being one of them. And Trump, and those on the left, they want to lump everyone in. Correct. Everyone who was going haywire, everyone who was fighting with the police, right, that sort of thing. And they all want to lump them all into one. But there are so many people who didn't even go into the Capitol that day, that have found themselves caught up in this stuff. It is absolutely amazing.
And we can actually have one on this podcast that I know personally that we will have as a guest.
All right.
And we'll talk about as we
seriously?
get close. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
Well, let's take a second here to talk about our buddy Rick Barrick. When the time comes to borrow money, doesn't matter who you are, there are always questions. May we suggest you consider our friend Rick Barrick. Rick has been helping thousands of customers unlock the financial potential of their homes for more than 26 years. Rick's experience with Cross Country Mortgage, the second largest mortgage company in America, combines to offer solutions for every borrower, whether it's a new home purchase, refinancing, a low-interest home equity line of credit to consolidate debt. Rick has all the options tailored to your unique situation. And if that situation involves your credit scores or any past challenges in getting a loan, talk to Rick Barrett. See how he can help you get on the right path. Check out the numbers on your screen, 513-383-2923. And you can email Rick at rickbarrick at ccm.com, rick.barrick@ccm.com. And you're just a step away from personalized mortgage solutions. There you go.
Fucking nailed it, Dan Carroll. You nailed it as you always do.
I'm supposed to say the NMLS number.
I think we are. I don't know if the requirements are the same on podcasting as they are on.
I'll find out
over the air.
I'll find out really quickly, and you're in an NMLS.
I could leave that to you.
Could, but someone's talking about this.
I'll find out. I'll find out if we actually.
But we actually showed the number, so I think we might be covered on it.
There you go.
So I got two more videos left that I think are absolutely funny.
All right.
So, Andrew, I think you'll like this one.
The AP has just broken some new news. This has just come out from the Associated Press. This is incredible.
Oh, look at it, fellas. You crying, boy? You crying, boy? Maybe we'll go back down to McDonald's and get you a Wham-burger and some French fries. How about a Weineken?
Can we put up the graphic of this? Thank you. Just, I think I'm gonna have to hand this off. Yeah. Aww. Sorry. That does it for us tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Nobody wants you in this town. Nobody wants you around, period. You're fired. Get the hell out. Get the hell out of here. You're out of here. Get out of here.
So we've all seen this. How many of you think this will actually happen? Either that or...
And those stories are out there about Elon Musk possibly buying MSNBC, which I think would just be unbelievably beautiful.
Would it be cheaper to buy them or start a new one from scratch?
That's good. That's a good question.
Because buying them assumes that they have an audience that you're buying.
But Rachel Maddow, I don't know if you guys know this or not. She just with all this going on, and NBC was talking, or Comcast was talking about spinning off MSNBC, CNBC, the Golf Channel,
right,
and one or two of their other properties. In the wake of that, she went and negotiated a new deal for herself.
James
Yeah.
McGee said,
It's all about her.
Leave Richard Maddow alone. She's not a bad guy.
Hey, something.
Well, you know what? But she has nothing to complain about. She just renegotiated her deal.
She's
Now,
selfish.
She took a $5 million pay cut,
but
her salary before was $30 million.
Yeah.
Now it's $25 million, and she works 1 day a week.
Sounds terrible.
1 day a week, $25 million a year. Raise your hand if you would sign up for that deal right now.
Well, I retire in 4 years.
Yeah,
so
one day a week. I mean, that's almost as much as you make on the podcast. I mean, it's amazing.
We're so
hey, listen,
close.
before we go tonight, I'd like to just say while we're kind of still in the show, we forgot to mention a severe or not severe, but just a hearty congrats with some big news locally. We talked about Ohio State football. We neglected Anderson High School football. Now, Anderson High School this Thursday, a week from Thanksgiving, is going to be up in Akron playing for the state championship.
Do they play on Thursday night or is it Friday? They play on Thursday night.
They're going to
Akron, Canton. I get them confused.
Canton. They're going to Canton
on
on Thursday.
So I just like to say,
shout out to the
exciting
Raptors.
it is to the Raptors, formerly the Redskins.
Redskins always, but
undefeated, 14-0,
and they had a great victory.
They play a team.
Well,
that's
now
14-0 too.
They're both going in. They're 15-0. Both going in 15-0.
And I think that's
15 now.
I would like to see, every business along Beachmont draped in, orange and black. And I'd like to see just the pride go through the roof. And I can't say that, although, obviously not having kids, and especially, anywhere, but here, not having kids here, it is difficult, to kind of get into it. But I'm even proud that Anderson is doing well at the state level. And I think it bodes well for our community, and it's a source of pride. And I think we should all rally around it.
Absolutely. I was at the firehouse yesterday, catching up on Facebook, and then I realized a channel that I could grab it on.
Oh,
which I would have never have searched that.
So you saw a good game
that high in the numbers. I caught on at the last 5 minutes,
and you saw the best part of the game.
And those kids,
the emotion was amazing.
Those kids killed it.
And high school football is really, I think, the best. High school football is where it's, because the argument can be made, and I agree with this. The NIL is ruining college football, just absolutely destroying college football. But high school, they still have the emotion and they still have the heart and desire, and those kids leave it all on the field. And I couldn't be any more proud for not only the kids, but the coaches and the staff. And I think that Anderson High School is doing Anderson Township proud right now, and I'm tickled to death.
And not just Anderson, but Moeller as well. Moeller High School back in the state championship game, they destroyed Centerville the other night. I think 48-10.
Wow.
Or 49-10 was the final.
We have a Division I, Division II from southwestern Ohio. Absolutely.
So there'll be a lot of people this week, Thursday, going up to where we say it was Canton,
Ohio.
And I've been there, and I forgot about it, but I will say that be safe on the road, and you guys definitely bring home a winner, because
let's go Raptors.
Let's go Raptors. Boy, that's hard to say.
Redskins,
still, isn't it?
Let's go Redskins.
Let's go Raptors.
I know.
Once a Redskin, always a Redskin.
I heard Washington's thinking about bringing back their.
There's been some talk about that.
They've been talking about it for a couple of years.
No, but it's like getting some traction.
Ain't gonna happen. I got one more video.
You know who wants them to bring back Redskin though?
Oh Jesus, never mind.
The Indian tribe.
No, the Black Nation wants.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here you go.
This is a fun story. A teacher in Connecticut named Annie Dunleavy was forced to resign after making a video threatening Trump supporters on TikTok after the win. And now she's on local news crying her eyes out and begging for her job back.
If you voted for Trump, literally, please delete me, block me, get rid of everything of me, or step to me so that I know what's up and then I can handle you how I see fit. Just because you won doesn't mean we don't remember who the blank you voted for. You're not in the clear. Please don't test your gangster on me, because you will end on a stretcher, gone forever. What does that mean exactly?
Yeah, so
it sounds like a threat.
It sounds very extreme. And again, I was in a moment of high emotions, and I shouldn't have ever posted the video. But the message I was trying to get across, and it came off very wrong, was, if this is going to give people the almost permission in their minds to enact violence against women or anybody, I wanted to basically just say, I'm not going to go down without a fight. I mean, you know, it's my life's dream to be a teacher. I consider those kids my kids because I don't have any of my own. And they fill that for me. And it's so fulfilling. It's so rewarding.
Oh, wow. She should have broke out into the haka dance. What is it with these?
What a fucking ass clown, first and foremost.
You know, what a bunch of double speak, because
that's Kamala Harris speak.
Correct. But she said something that had words. Look, where we heard before, words have meanings, right? And she used specific language, and she did threaten violence. She wasn't talking about defending women or violence against them.
She said, "You come up on me, you're going out on a stretcher."
And at the end,
she said.
At the end of the day, I'm just telling you that I hope she was fired, and I hope she doesn't have a teaching job in that state or anywhere else. Shouldn't be around kids. She obviously doesn't have the mental stability to be educating our youth.
So the reason I brought that up, and I was hoping to have a contact with the guy that posted. We have one locally that happened a couple weeks ago from Talawanda High School, a teacher that did the exact same thing through a social media post out and had to eat shit because she got put at administrative leave pending investigation. I have the guy's number. I have the guy's number, and he wasn't able to interact with us, time wise. But he's the one that put it out there.
Right. He outed her, not outed her, but he kind of outed her, but
she put it on social media. She outed herself.
Yeah, but I think he let everybody know who she was.
He had kids in the school, and he was like, "Dude, fuck this. I'm not fucking dealing with this." And he took it to the school board. And so I have his number. We just haven't been able to connect schedule-wise.
I'd like to get the update on that.
But she's on administrative leave. Same thing. All these liberal fucktards are going out on social media and just bashing, your thoughts. If you did this, delete me. I'm gonna wreck you or whatever. I mean, we've seen, from a 10 to a 2, as far as extremes. Because we watched a lot of these videos.
Well, we've also seen teachers getting triggered by students wearing pro-Trump stuff into class.
Yes.
After the election.
Exactly.
And my point is, and Jason's right, but my point is, I remember, I think I remember having teachers, and I can remember the teachers. God is my witness. I didn't know the politics of my teachers back in the day.
Same here.
I had no idea. Know the politics of my teachers.
I could guess, but it doesn't,
Sometimes I didn't. Sometimes I didn't know the sex of my
David J said, "Has anyone reported Pappas's yard yet this week?"
But here's the deal.
But no, I had no idea either.
If a teacher comes in there, or if a teacher has that attitude, it's going to spill over into the classroom. And then how does that affect a child who is a Trump supporter, whose family's a Trump supporter? Then they're going to be disadvantaged, or at least shunned upon, or felt shunned upon by the teacher. And I think it's bullshit. And you know what? You should have a 0, unless it's a politics class, I guess. But you should have a 0 politics policy in the schools. It cannot be. I know the teacher's allowed to share her bullshit and then say, "Oh, well, I have a First Amendment." No, because you're actually in charge of educating those kids. And if you somehow impart on them that they're wrong, think of the age. Think of how much impact a teacher has on the lives and the direction of kids.
Yeah.
And if you share with them that they're somehow wrong or fucked up just because they are conservative or their parents are conservative, you're affecting their whole life path.
All right, so
that's bullshit.
All right, so let me stop you there and ask you this: all of the stories, and Dan, you've been a part of the podcast for a while. How many conservative, right-wing, Trump supporter, whatever, how many of these have we seen where they're getting in a negative light? Have we reported on?
I don't think any.
Okay. It's usually
it's not to say that they're not out there.
It's not to say they're not out there. I agree. But the headlines hit when it's the leftist or the liberals or whatever So I know we kind of have a standing order right now, but it's funny. And I'm going to show it. But Cincy says, because it wasn't a cult status when you were in school. Well,
oh, really? Really? What politics wasn't a cult status, or following what Trump is a cult status? Is that what
right? Apparently it's cultist. It's cultist to follow Trump.
Really? Okay. Well, politics has always been, and
politics has always been politics.
Politics has always been emotional.
So you guys were just talking about that's the only reason I showed that.
And 513 might not remember the love that Reagan had when he was in office. I mean, Reagan was adored when he was in office, and when
that's where DARE started.
49 state landslide.
That's right. And so if
DARE started under
people at the time could have, before social media. The only difference is we didn't have social media back then, so everybody's opinion wasn't plastered all over everything.
How different would our lives be today if we had social media when we were growing up?
Got to be way different. Way different. Seriously.
I mean, I can't even imagine.
I mean, back in the 70s and 80s, I mean, we didn't have that stuff. But, people would say that
are old.
People would say,
but I would have put a lot of stupid shit out there.
Oh,
back
totally
in the day.
stupid shit. Because we did a lot of stupid shit.
I mean, there was a time. I mean, there was actually a time when I would have voted for Jesse Jackson when he was running for president.
Did you have a fro?
No, I didn't have I did have a fro at one time.
Have the big 70s hair? I gotta see some of these pictures.
So Joe Billy just said
I did have a fro once.
Did you really?
I did.
God, are there photographs?
Paula might have one. I don't know.
I guarantee she does.
But my point is, you would.
Joe Billy says it was a year Ross Perot ran. She was talking about like when she was in school, and whether the teacher asked who they were voting for. She goes, it was a year Ross Perot ran, and I was one of like 2 kids in the class who raised their hands. Their parents were voting for Ross Perot. I don't remember the teacher reacting any way about it. Like, didn't give a shit.
Didn't.
It's like, oh, okay, cool.
But I mean, you could have said back in the day, think if social media was around, they would have said that the love for Reagan was a cult then. So I mean, that argument is stupid.
It's
just being supportive of
that's the only reason
of your party doesn't mean that it's a cult. And to be fair, I can be honest with you. I ain't dying just, I'm not going to run out and jump in front of a van just to show my support for Donald Trump. That would be a cult. At the end of the day, just because I'm proud of the fact that I voted and supported the guy and he's now president of the United States, doesn't mean I'm a cultist. So you know what? You can go project your bullshit somewhere else.
What kind of Nikes did you wear in here? You left a purple shroud outside the room, and I'm a little bit concerned. And you brought Kool-Aid, which is weird. You just brought it all.
Well,
that's a cult.
And let me tell you something.
If you're drinking the Kool-Aid, that's a cult.
Well, how many people today, Dan, don't understand what that term even means. But I was around, and you were around.
I was around
when they were breaking the news and the helicopter. Remember the helicopter footage of Jonestown?
Yeah, Jim Jones, Jonestown,
and it was in Guyana, Africa. I think it was in Guyana, Africa. And the helicopters had just discovered the compound. And the people were just baking out in the sun, and they were dead for several days. So it was not a pretty sight.
No, the bodies were all bloated.
Bloated.
It was horrific.
So, spare me the little, I know what cults are. You may not remember and I'm not saying because I'm older, I remember, but I've seen the videos and I remember watching it live going, man, that was messed up.
Yeah.
Right?
The unedited, unblurred out
video.
Yeah.
Right. On one of the 3, we had 3 at the time, networks. Breaking news, Jim Jones, But anyway, that's cult. What we're going through now, you're having an affection or emotion for your party or even your country at that if that's the thing you're passionate about, doesn't mean you're a cultist. It just means you're proud of who you are.
And here's the thing: if Trump starts, and part of what Joy Reid said the other night, she said 2 other things.
Jason's on his phone.
She said that that we voted for the fascist, and then she also said that that pilgrims. She equated pilgrims to illegal aliens coming into this country. I mean, and then never mind the fact that it wasn't even a country back then. But
it doesn't matter, Dan.
But if Donald Trump starts going down the road of fascism and being a dictator and being a totalitarian,
you and I will
be right behind these microphones calling that out,
calling that bullshit out.
Absolutely. And if and saying that if we think it's wrong, then we're going to say it's wrong. I'm not going to sit here and be a cheerleader for Trump just because he's got an R behind his name.
Absolutely.
If he does things that I think are right, helping the economy and putting America first, then I am going to be a cheerleader for that. But if this stuff that Rachel Maddow says and that Morning Joe says Well, he's not saying it anymore. He's he's smoking the peace pipe now.
Yeah, they got shut down
with Trump, trying to save their asses. And I don't know why those people are so worried about their jobs. I mean, they've made millions. They should have millions in the bank. They should be glad just to go be on the beach for the next 5, 6, 10 years. I mean, and enjoy life and just forget about all this stuff. I don't know why they get so upset about that. But if Trump starts going down that road where it looks like he wants to be a dictator and we might not have any more elections, right?
You and I would be the first two people on the air.
That's what we do. That's what those of us who look at things the way we do, that's what we do. We call out our own when it's time to call out our own.
Happy to.
That's our pledge to you here on the One More and I'm Out of Here podcast.
Well, we got a bet here. $20 we'll never talk bad about Trump. That's an easy 20.
Who said that?
I don't like his hair. Does that count? That's talking bad about him. Pay up, sucker.
We'll never talk bad about Trump.
Pay up, sucker.
I did talk bad about him when Trump was back in the early days of the primary, when he was banging on Ron DeSantis. I told Trump, I said, that's a mistake. Do not try and tear down DeSantis.
I remember that.
Just to get ahead in the primaries.
Look, at the end of the day,
it's not a good idea.
I think the thing to
remember,
remember,
look at where Trump and DeSantis are now. I mean, they're buddies.
And I think at the end of the day, and the thing everyone needs to remember is there is no one perfect. There's no perfect person.
Right.
So I'm happy to, as Dan is, as Jason is as well. I mean,
I think Jason's pretty close to perfect.
I mean,
I try.
I
try.
He's got the keyboard. But I mean, seriously, look, we'll be the first ones.
Fuck it up every time.
But I'll say this: we've got high hopes and we've got tall aspirations, and I hope that he meets each and every one of them. And I'm not going to be overly critical, but I'll be the first one to say, I think this is a mistake, and I think there's some policies that he has that, and none jump to mind right now, but I'm sure he's going to do something. Like, for example, we talked about it on the air when he appointed what's his face Gates to be whatever Attorney General.
Attorney General.
I was like, I couldn't get my hand around it. I couldn't figure it out.
That was a weird one.
And that was a weird one. Turned out it was a mistake, right? And so, or at least it apparently was.
Or was it planned?
And or is he smarter than the world? I don't know, but I think that, look, we gotta just sit here, and we're happy at the results of the election. We're pleased. We're optimistic about the future. I'm very optimistic about the future of the country, at least for the next 4 years. And I hope we're put on a path that we can, really turn things around and fix this country.
And here's one thing. Here's one thing I'll say, and then I'm done. And I'm gonna hit the fucking end button. But I hope that after the inauguration, and let's just hypothetically say a year from now, so next November, December, hopefully we get a little bit of reprieve from a couple people that are in our chats saying, oh wow, my small business is actually doing really, really well.
Wait, are you saying that you're thinking that some people in our chats, and we're not going to name any names,
correct,
but we're going to think that they're going to be big enough people to admit that Trump is doing well and doing good things for this country, and not just be absolute partisan hacks that their comments have shown them to be? What you're saying?
That's what I'm hoping, but
okay.
I know that's a lot probably not going to happen.
Well, that's a lot of growing in a year, and unless it's dog years and he's able to grow 7 years for every human year, I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think that dog's going to hunt.
I don't think so either.
See you next week.